So there are a lot of startups that come into the field, be it in the financial technology field, or maybe they're artists in the fashion and design, jewelry industries, et cetera, and they're not represented by counsel. Sometimes that's okay. And if you're starting on your own and you're really doing everything, in-house, maybe you're able to get along or get by for a while. However, at some point, you're going to recognize that you're going to want limited liability. If you have founders or other shareholders in your company, you're going to want a founder's agreement. If you're a corporation, you're going to want a shareholders agreement. Similarly, if you're an LLC, then you'll be looking for an operating agreement. So as your company grows and as things get more significant and serious, an attorney really becomes more necessary. So once you start hiring people, you'll want employment contracts. If you have independent contractors, there's a different agreement for that. Once you start working with third parties, you're going to need contracts, vendor agreements, manufacturing, distribution agreements. If you're in the fintech world, then certainly there's a regulatory component to everything you're doing. So I would say that as your firm continues to grow, it's always more and more important to work with counsel. However, and I don't say this to self-promote, but the truth is that the earlier you start working with an attorney to make sure everything is legally accurate, the better off your company tends to be. The responsibilities and duties of a general counsel can really shift based upon the type of company that an attorney is representing. I would say, generally speaking, though, a GC's role and responsibility is to make sure that the company is properly operating with respect to its legal requirements. Sometimes those are regulatory issues that have to do with government mandates. Other times it's ensuring that contracts are being properly negotiated. At times it's also ensuring that employment agreements are properly drafted. Well, the fashion industry has a wide array of different variants that are out there in the marketplace. So, if you're speaking about, for example, couture and boutique high-end clothing merchandise, I think intellectual property infringement is a huge problem that faces the industry, and that remains ongoing. Certainly, having knockoff brands that are able to sell items similar to what the client is actually producing becomes an issue. And often you see this coming out of foreign countries that are able to produce items that are completely or nearly identical to the product that, let's say, a US company is producing. And of course, they're producing it for a lot less. So making sure that your intellectual property is registered, having your trademarks registered, your trade names registered, and even getting trade dress protections is always a very, very important step in ensuring that your brand and the items that that brand is producing are protected.